I'm one of them. I don't think you're that special.
Good morning. My name is Rebel, and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and this is my working hangout, which I usually don't get a whole lot accomplished while I'm working, but it's fun to chat with everybody. Hopefully my two co-hosts will be here shortly, and then we're trying to get Katrina on as my guest also today, but our morning got away from us. I don't know what happened. Before we knew it, it was like 20 minutes and we still needed to set everything up. I don't know. My computer that I list on upstairs this morning decided to reset and update and just kind of threw my whole morning off. So it's just is what it is, right? I haven't even finished my packaging. So that's my morning. Hopefully Beth will be here shortly too to hang out. She and I both were on vacation mode last week and over the weekend, so just kind of got to get back into the hang of it this morning. But for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I posted a video last night on how to set a sale up in your store. So, but it's only my version of how I do it. And of course, there's lots of different ways to do it. I've already had a nice comment from someone who was telling me how they use the coupon and that they're being successful with the coupon. So I might have to look into that. At least, sending coupons out to people who were, previous buyers. So good morning, Laureen. Then there's Robert. Oh, Robert over here. He's manning the chat for me. But now you've seen, y'all, the stuff that we bought on the 127 highway yard sale, it's still in our vehicle. This is how busy we've been. It's still sitting in our vehicle. I haven't even unloaded it yet. Hopefully today we're going to get to that. And then I need to get videos made of that stuff. And we're going to hopefully, me who was wearing the GoPro the entire weekend, hopefully I have usable footage. And we'll see. I haven't had very good luck with that. Yes, my computer was throwing a tantrum. So then I had to come down here because I really need to get as much listed in the morning as I can, because then the rest of my day just kind of goes in different directions. So I was standing down here at 8 o'clock in the morning trying to finish everything. All right. Yay. Here comes Katrina. And here comes Elizabeth. Let me do this. And hopefully Lori, you know what? You guys send me messages all the time telling me something's about to happen. And then I never see them till after the show. I did change my layout. Yep. So let me make sure Lori hasn't sent me a message already saying she'll be here shortly. Nope, not yet. All right. So yay, Katrina's here. Let's do a mic check. Yep. I hear you. Everybody hears you good. So my morning's been crazy. But yeah, we were very delinquent in notifying Katrina about everything. So I'm so sorry.
So for the benefit of everyone, I know she's been in the chat, but let her introduce herself and tell a little bit about herself.
Tell us about you, Katrina.
Hi, everybody. I'm Katrina. I live in a small town in Texas called Commerce, and I've been reselling, I guess, since October of 2021, officially, I guess you could. And I'm a single mom, and I live with my mom, and I'm an empty nester. So a little bit about me.
Very good. I'm looking forward to the empty nest.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I said, what do you mostly sell?
Oh, let me see. I sell mainly shoes and handbags and let me see, small wallets and things of that nature right now. I sell on eBay, Macari, and Poshmark.
Okay, so you have a lot in common with Lori, who
I do.
sells purses and shoes and things like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't sell clothes to speak of, but early on, I listed a couple of random things that my kids had that they didn't need anymore, and
Yeah.
a couple of shirts that were still in the package, like T-shirts that had been gifts that they didn't want, stuff like that. So I don't know that I've sold any clothing items, and I maybe only have less than 10 things listed that would be considered clothes. And yesterday, out of the blue, one of the ones that I listed in September sold. I mean, like it was like $6, but still, it sold.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, well, whatever, you know. And then literally, well, that was night before last, I guess. So I shipped that out yesterday, and I had no sooner shipped it than one of the T-shirts sold, and a different buyer and everything. And I'm like, what are the chances of that? It's just so weird that I never sell any clothes, and all of a sudden now 2 things in a row. So it's bizarre.
That is. Yesterday, I don't know, eBay turned my store on. I had my best day the entire month so far, but not a
Great.
single clothing item. Not one.
Hmm.
So that's weird. You're selling clothes. I have 1,000 listed.
Yeah.
I sold none.
Well, and I had 0 sales for Saturday and Sunday.
Ooh.
Isn't that weird? 0. And I usually and I had 2, like the first day, I had 2 sales on the first, 2 sales on the second, and then I think none the next day, and then 1. So I've had almost enough for like 1 a day average. But it was just weird that the weekend is when usually people sell things, and I sold 0. And I've been listing regularly too. The stuff I'm listing is not all that great. It's just whatever I can get listed. My priority right now is just to get in the habit of always listing 3 things, no matter what it is. And and I'm doing better. In fact, I've already listed my 3 things today. I've already launched them.
Yay. You know, that's the battle right there, is just stop, get it done. Get it
and
done.
I'm getting faster. The more I do, the better I'm getting at it. And I'm getting better about do it, because the reason I was able to get some done this morning already is because I had them drafted, and the drafts were just about done. I just looked at them one more time, tweaked a couple things, and then launched them. So that has got to be the priority, that I always have things ready to go the night before.
Yep.
Well, for me, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think something's up with eBay right now, because some of my item specifics are moved again, which means they're messing with something. And I think we're all feeling every time they do stuff like that, it just seems like things get hidden.
Yes, that's true.
You know?
I do sell plush and small, like Matchbox toys, like the die cast and plastic airplanes and cars and things. I've sold a few of those, not a lot, but I like buying those in bag lots from the thrift store or garage sale for about maybe $4.99 or something. And then it's just pure profit after the first sale, because I can make maybe $12 or more per thing, per item. So I like doing things like that, because I like buying things in lots and stuff and then parting it all out, because then per item it's a minimal cost.
Yep.
And that's because that's the way I like to shop. I don't know how anybody else might be, but I was a buyer before I was a seller. And I like making a deal. I don't know how anybody else feels about it, but I do. And I learned it from my dad, because he was a big yard sale person, and he sort of taught me how to do that. And it kind of just comes naturally to me. And so I do those kinds of things. I haven't listed a lot of things. I think I'm on the small side when it comes to the volume that I have listed compared to everybody else that's been on the show. And which is okay for me because I kind of take the tortoise approach, like the tortoise and the hare. I'm the tortoise. I do slow and steady to try and get my footing and feel like I'm confident enough that I can handle things that, you know, come up. And I don't like having unexpected things happen, but they happen anyway. And I like kind of knowing what I'm going to do to handle those situations. So growing things slowly is my method. I don't know how other people feel about that.
No, I'm right there with you. I totally agree. And we both have started about the same time because you said you started in October and I started in September of last year. Now, our store was already established because my husband had started it several years ago, but he hadn't done anything with it in a long time. And I think we had 87 listings when I took over the store. And my goal is to try to get all of those things sold pretty soon at some point. We've been selling them gradually, except for hardware. My husband has a room full of hardware, and he's only listed a few things. Well, it was a lot. My father-in-law, he's a wheeler dealer, and he's the one that kind of taught us today. And he got somewhere it's like a truckload of hardware that's new and it's all loose. So my husband had to get like the tools to actually measure the different sizes of things. And they built in, we have some property out in another county with a barn. And so they built in a room of this horse barn that's out there and put shelving in and all this stuff. And so it's all organized, but I think my husband is waiting for retirement to actually get out there and get any more of it done because it's time consuming to measure it all and figure out what size it is and to get it listed and everything. But anyway, so that's in the future. But there's a lot of random things, books and stuff that he listed before I took over the store, and we're selling those gradually. And I've been tweaking the prices and stuff to get them more at a marketable range and then listing my own stuff. But I'm up to, I don't know if you heard me say a couple weeks ago, I sort of did another restart a couple months ago. And I said, okay, I'm just going to list one thing every day this month. I think it was June. And and just established that as a habit. And then last month I did 2 things. So this month I'm up to 3 things, and it's getting easier as I go. And I totally agree with the tortoise concept of take it slow and baby step.
Well, I think I started out as the hare trying to get everything, just get it and get with it and get started. Oh my goodness. I just absolutely had to slow my roll, if you know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, no, you've got to get things in a little bit better organized way. Oh, and it's still organized chaos a little bit for me, but the way I got started, if that's okay for me to talk about, I actually started reselling furniture and repainting furniture and things of that nature. Let me see. I officially started doing that in 2015, 16, I think. And because my dad died unexpectedly, abruptly in 2014. And this is how I connect with Rebel on a lot of levels. Because I'm a former educator. I was a teaching assistant for several years and then got certified in special ed and that kind of thing. But I had taken a job with well, it wasn't necessarily a school, but it was a section of the Department of Labor, and they tried to help people who were coming out of really hard situations, trying to acclimate them back into the workforce. But they were criminals.
Oh.
And it was a very stressful situation. And I only lasted about 6 months because I couldn't handle that anymore. And I just told my mom and dad, I said, look, I need to be around people that I know, that I like, that are nice to me, because I can't handle this anymore. I was having a lot of stress. And so they said, just come home and stay here. And so I did.
Dude, your phone.
And excuse me. And I did that. And it was about nine months later, my dad died. And it left my mom with, you know, a lot of things she needed to juggle and handle, and didn't really know how she was going to do that. And so she said, don't take this teaching job that you've been offered, and stay home with me and help me with all the stuff that I need done. And I went, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wondered how that was going to go. And I was like, oh. But I trust my mother more than I trust just about anybody in the whole world. She's the smartest lady I know. And I said, okay, and I'll do it. And then it was like in great succession, things just started to kind of fall apart, I think, unravel. And the house needed working on and other things. And 10 months prior to my dad dying, my mother's brother passed away. So we had a lot of big things happen to us. And then we had this house that was my uncle's that had a house full of furniture in it and that kind of thing. And so that sort of led me into finding a way to get rid of all of it, but put money in the bank, you know? And
Right.
I don't know if you'll ever heard of Canton, Texas, the trade days.
Mm-mm.
It's huge, and it's known all over the country. People from all over come from out of state, and it happens at the first weekend of every month. And a town of like 4,000 people turns into a town of over 100,000 people in one weekend. It's insane.
Wow.
Kind of like that. What 127 yard sale you went to?
There were so many
Yeah.
people. So
Well,
many.
take that and dump it into a town of 4,000 people, all in one location.
We looked up.
It's
Their
huge.
normal population is $11,000 in Crossville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
11,000, and then it was crazy.
Yeah.
I'm glad we didn't pull our trailer because that would have been a disaster.
It would have been hard. Yeah. And so I said, I'm just going to open a store or a little shop, a lock and leave kind of thing at the flea market. And we packed up everything that was in the house and took it to this little, it's no bigger than a storage unit, you know.
Yeah.
But I turned it into a store. I did. And I sold stuff and made friends doing it, kind of like making friends. Hey, there's Lori. Hi, Lori.
Hi, I'm here. Nice to see you this week, Katrina.
Hi. Oh, my goodness. I feel like I'm among superstars. This is amazing. Oh, superstar people. Oh, my gosh.
Hello. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
You're a little muffled.
Am I?
Oh, okay. Turn your
Let me
mic
see.
maybe up.
I think I need to turn it down. It's like,
Oh.
it's really loud. Let me try with one. I'm
Katrina, I was
loud.
trying to
That's loud. Let's see.
Yes, ma'am.
I can hear you. I was trying to remember a couple weeks ago, you brought up some topic, and then that's when Rebel said, oh, we should have you on to talk about that.
Oh,
Do y'all remember what it was? I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I do. I remember that it had to do with photography, taking your pictures, and it was making collages out of your photos.
Oh, okay.
You're the one that told us.
Yes.
Very
Well,
good.
I had just discovered it like a week or two prior to mentioning it in the chat. So, and I decided I needed more pictures, but it didn't know how to make that happen. So I Googled it like everybody, you just Google it. And, and I followed the steps. I have an Android phone. I don't know about anybody else. And I don't know anything about Apple other than it's fruit and I eat it. And that's pretty much all I do. And so, and I don't know how to do any of that with the Apple thing. But I just followed the steps for what Google said. And it was go to your photos on your Android, your photos tab.
Right.
And then go to the library, and then go to utilities, and then go to collage. You scroll down to the collage feature. I think there's animation, collage, and movie is underneath collage, I think. And it worked. I just started tapping all the pictures I wanted to be in a collage, and I would pull it up and see it, and I went, oh, that'll work.
Right. I think that with Apple, you actually have the app. I do mine through Instagram. It's like a collage app that kind of is associated with Instagram.
Oh my. Okay.
That's too much. I mean, it's actual an app. That's what I was just looking at the name of it. That for Apple users.
Hey, Katrina. Now, if you're like for me, I list from my desktop. In order for me to use the collage, would I have to like make a draft on my phone and then go into my desktop and finish it? Because I don't
because I do everything from my phone. I don't do it on the desktop or the laptop. I think that would so. Isn't there a place that you store your photos?
Probably. Yeah, I just transfer my photos to my Google.
I would think so.
Probably.
Well, yeah, you just put it in. You would probably do it in your phone, right? Make your collage, and then can you put it in a folder and open it on your desktop?
I would think so.
That's what I think too.
I haven't tried that.
Did I miss that? Did you guys already solve that problem?
No, I was still asking. That's what I'm thinking though, because I've not used collage, and I've got a listing coming up that I definitely need more than 12 pictures. So
so the one for layout, or the one for Apple that I use, guys, is here. Let's see if you can. No, that light behind me. No, you can't see it. It's called Layout, and it's a free app called Layout.
All right, there you go, Apple users. That's what Lori uses.
That's awesome.
No, yeah, right. Can't get it, but it's called Layout, and it looks kind of like a layout.
A layout. That would make sense.
Is my sound better, guys?
Yeah, I hear you better.
Okay, good. Okay.
Well, I just happened to stumble onto that, and I thought, might as well use it and try. And it helped me condense the photos. It helped me be able to put more photos on my listings. I actually like how they look a little bit better, because now I can have like the measurement photos can be in one collage if I've focused it correctly and all that kind of thing. And I can just easily group them. And if I needed to take an additional photo or add another photo, I had room to do that. And I just thought it kind of makes it a little easier. Might be a little more work up front, but in the end, I think the end product looks good. So.
I should have remembered this the other day, because Robert takes my pictures for clothing. The other day I started listing some clothing. He had taken 18 pictures per item.
Oh dear.
I know.
No, it was
I-
more than
yeah.
one. It was like,
And
what am I supposed to do with this?
I
I
was
got to
giving
cut
you
out
choices.
I know.
Right?
Even
No,
just
that's how I feel all the time.
pocket. You know, it was the pocket, the bottoms of the legs, just everything. It was kind of fun, but I could have done that.
And I recommend that you do it before you. Yes, I really do. And I started doing it like, I think I was listing belts this last couple of days, and I took the pictures of the stamping that goes on the belt, you know, for like the labels, the brand or whatever. And I went, oh my goodness, all of that's going to go in a collage, you know, and I just tap, 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 made a collage, you know, focused in on the size, that kind of thing. I said, that's all one grouping and that's just going to go up as one. And then they can just look at it all in one fell swoop. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. I like making it quick and easy, you know.
Yeah,
There you go.
Shannon, that question about the layout real quick. It is for Instagram, but it's a separate app. It's
Separate
it's an
app.
Instagram
Okay.
app. Yeah, so that's how, and I've had it for years. It's probably different now. I'm probably using the same old, no update. I mean, I guess probably wouldn't work if I didn't update it. But yeah, I've had it for years and I love it. It doesn't give you that many options of how to, you know, put your pictures, but if you use Photo Room and you resize your photos before you use the collage app, it works a heck of a lot better.
Yes.
So, Lori, you can make a collage on Instagram and then transfer that to
You save it.
on
Yeah,
eBay?
you just save it. You would save it as your photo in your regular photos, but Instagram, I believe it's an app outside of Instagram from Instagram called Layout.
Okay.
And so it's kind of its own entity. But I'm pretty sure you can do that within Instagram as well. And then you would just save your photo.
I would never have thought of that. Interesting.
That's why it's good to have so many minds here with different ideas.
Exactly.
I love it.
And that's why I'm loving the Facebook group. My goodness.
I do too. Yeah.
That is great. That thing has gone bananas, huh?
It
Good
has.
stuff.
And just such good information. Good information. Everybody's, you know, helping everybody.
Sorry about that.
Yes.
Let me know if I'm being
I'm
noisy.
sorry. I'm trying to
actually
figure out
working.
how I can see us and the chat. How do you guys do this? Is it something I'm not doing here?
Are you in StreamYard? Because that's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Robert, what is she doing?
I
Is
was
your
going to
screen
come
not
on
big
my.
enough?
Maybe that's it. Maybe I need to use my double screen. I was going to tell Robert I'm going to come on my.
You don't want to know what
my
Robert.
laptop.
Robert said, "Is she on some terrible Mac product?"
I am. So what I was going to do is enter on my laptop. He doesn't have to put me on, but I'm going to come in on my laptop. That way I can see the chat and us. You heard, Robert?
You heard, Robert? All right.
I didn't.
Okay. All right, Shannon.
What'd she say?
I don't know. What'd you say? Because I messed it up.
I'm gonna come into StreamYard on my laptop. Just don't put me on the screen, just so I can read the chat from my laptop and see the other.
Okay.
You got it? Okay.
All right, Shannon. The pink
that way I can
Build-A-Bear.
catch up with the chat too.
Right.
The pink Build-A-Bear I put in the group yesterday. I knew something was wrong. I tried to Google it and it kept giving me gun snuffles, which if you know snuffles, they're these long polar bear looking things. Uh-oh, Lori, you're giving
I got
us
it.
feedback. Okay.
Oh, it's still doing it.
Jingle bells.
What if it's me? I'll mute me.
Okay. Not working.
Is it me?
Nope.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
The computer.
I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Use the other one. There you go.
Oh.
Noelle was saying something about use create mode in your photo gallery to edit your photos as well as to make the collages.
Here, let me undo this one and we can see her message. Here, create mode in your photo gallery to edit your photos as well as make the collages. Huh. I've got to I can't make comments on none of this because I haven't done it yet. Oh no.
It did sound like the Twilight Zone. That's true.
I know. All right. Let me talk about my Build-A-Bear from yesterday.
Okay.
So this, it's big. It's like 15 inches long, but it's like a fat bear laying on its belly. Nothing like a Build-A-Bear I have ever seen. Luckily, Beth and I were commiserating about lots of different things, and I sent her a picture of it. And she has a friend who works for Build-A-Bear, and she just sent the picture to her friend that works for Build-A-Bear, and then all of a sudden I get this listing from eBay back, and they're called, I listed it this morning. Oh, here. It's called a Puffy Pals with the ZZZ, like it's sleeping, because that's basically what it looked like, a big old fat pink bear sleeping. And I can't find nothing other than an active listing for, I think, $249 or $269 or something like that. But dummy me this morning, I go to list it. I don't know what I was thinking. I was going to list it for $229. And I listed it for $129, but luckily I caught it really quick because you know that always happens. You know that happens.
Rebel.
And all of a sudden it sells within seconds.
Wow.
I got to it quick enough and upped the price, but dang, not paying attention. But it's very neat. I'm hoping, watch somebody else list theirs for $29. I don't know. You know how that goes. Robert said he'd buy it.
Yes, that's what you do. Always, every time.
Yeah. Like what was it? I
don't even want to talk about it. It makes me crazy.
The Squishmallow.
Squishmallow
the
square
episode.
Squishmallow. That was like a $400 one.
I know. That's all right. I made somebody's year, you know?
Sure the hell did.
But yeah, this is, it happens to all of us. It happens.
It does.
But I'm getting ready to, y'all, I'm not sharing my big treasure from the 127 yet.
Oh
my little people. I found a big one that I had Commonwealth Picker and Prison to Profits like oohing and awing over it. Should I tell them what it was?
Oh. Yes, please.
Yeah, it's going to be in a haul video. I found the old, and on the side of the road in just a regular yard sale, straight from 127, not off in a side street, a table full of vintage video games from NES.
No way.
Super NES. None of these guys, and this was day 2. Well, day 2 for me. That thing had been going on for days already. A whole case of it. Dante, the Prison to Profits guy, he was like, I got to quit looking because he says, I'm just jealous.
Oh, wow. So were you able to look any of them up?
Everything is still in my car. We have not unloaded yet. Oh, Robert, when did you take it upstairs? Oh, no, it's upstairs. I haven't even looked yet.
When you met Dante, did you meet Katie? Was she there? His partner?
I met her at the dinner that night. I didn't realize who she was.
Yeah, and she sells books, and she subscribes to me, and I subscribe to her. So we chat every once in a while about books.
We chatted with her about the baby, and then afterwards I realized that's Elizabeth Katie reads.
Yeah.
That's Elizabeth's Katie Reed's. And here I'm talking about her baby. But I think we're thinking about going to his meetup in, I think, October, because it's in South Carolina. So not a big drive for us. But I'm thinking about going to that. And that way, I had such a good time. I was oohing and awing over everybody. And then I had wonderful viewers who were like, aren't you Rebel?
Aw.
That was a
so
fun
sweet.
picture with the Trash to Cash guys. Was the, what's his name, Dave? Was he scrunched down to try to be your height? Is that what
I
he
made
did?
a comment. I said, now you guys aren't the shortest ones in the picture. And so, of course, he instantly went. So here, look, this is the tote.
Holy
Oh my goodness.
wow.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for it?
I paid, what did I pay?
$115.
$115 for all of it. But there's 4 game systems in there too.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Wow.
No wonder they were
Nice
I ran into
find.
Kevin, the Commonwealth picker, at a yard sale.
You chickened out.
Well, first I ran from him, and Robert was like, he come around the corner. I saw him, and I turned around, and I'm like, Robert, Kevin's here. And so then Kevin came around the corner, and Robert goes, I know you. And then he saw me, and he saw that I had my GoPro on, and he's like, all right, tell me who you are.
Right.
Did he have you get a sticker out of his backpack?
You know what? I forgot.
Because he always says, it's back there. And then he always says, it's in my backpack, not a creepy, like in my back pocket.
Right. Like, yeah.
No, because then I told him, I was like, I found something today that you would have picked up if you'd seen it. And he was like, all right, tell me. So then I took him, he walked with me to our vehicle. And first he saw my castle, my Little People castle. And I was showing him all of that. And then Robert pulled the tote out, and here came Dante around the corner. So he's looking through the tote, and Kevin's looking through the tote. And I can't believe, days into this sale, and nobody.
Was it under a table with a cover on it, or
It
what?
was on a table. The tote was on its side, and it was displayed. The whole table was just covered with games.
Wow.
I was shocked. I looked up only one game because at first she was like, what was it? 65 for all the games. And then we gave her 50 for all the game systems. And I looked up one game. It was a Mickey Mouse game, and it sells for like $35.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But I have one comment about buying games and reselling. Well, I haven't ever resold any, but when my old original Nintendo was still working, we were at like a community sale, and a guy had a bunch of games, and I didn't think about the fact that they were kind of dusty. So I just dusted off the outside, put it in my player, and it ruined my player because dirt had gotten inside the game. And if I had just had a thought to clean it out, because Randy will do that with our other games, like sometimes they just need to be cleaned with alcohol or something. So I don't know if you've thought about that, but I would check them and make sure that there's not like dirt gunked up in them before you sell them, because my player doesn't work now.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely watch YouTube videos on how to make sure they're legit, which I don't doubt that they are. And then hopefully I have all the game systems now to test all of them, and I'm gonna
do you have an old TV that you can use with the old hookups and stuff?
I don't know, do we
Remember
have a TV that we'll be able to hook the game systems to?
I can find them in yard sales for $5 or $10.
Yeah, we may have to try to go look for one.
Rebel, that's a good job for your teenage sons. Say, I've got all these game systems. I need you to test them out and play all the games.
Plan. Yeah, they'll love it.
If I find stuff that I don't sell all the time, I prefer to buy a plethora. So that way, when you do the research, you really, because it takes so much time to research, even just one, when you don't know what the heck you got, you got something, but you don't know the specifics, right?
All right. Anybody got an answer for this? Best place to learn cast iron.
I was looking at
my kitchen. I got a lot of it. No, I'm just kidding. I do have a lot.
I have cast
I
iron,
use
but
it
it's
every
all
day.
mine.
Right.
People will say don't ever wash it with soap, but I don't think that. I mean, that may be true if it's new. The what I have, I inherited from my mom, and it's been used and cured for so long that you can wash it, and it's no big deal. But I bought some cast iron at a yard sale that wasn't ever cured right, and I could never get
Right.
it to. It was just always rusting, and I finally just got rid of it. But the stuff that my mom used and cared for from the 1950s on, I still have it and I use it, and it's great. But there's different schools of thought about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
enough about
it's
it.
so dang heavy that I don't even mess with it. I know there's a couple
Correct.
brands that are worth picking up for the weight. With the
Griswold.
weight, I mean, Griswold. I'm looking right now to see. I'm gonna check eBay for some sells.
I have several Griswolds that I think I got from somewhere or at a yard sale or something that I've set aside. But yeah, other than that, I know nothing about it.
So let's go. Is it skillets or is it just random cast iron tchotchkes?
Mostly skillets and Dutch ovens is what I see.
Yeah, mostly skillets and Dutch ovens are Griswold. Well, I have a Griswold. What is that thing? Like a fire? Sits over a fire.
Dutch oven.
No, but I mean it's like the grate.
Oh, a
that you can
pot.
sit. That.
That thing.
As far as cast iron, I mean, lots of things come in cast iron. You know, the toys that are cast iron and like things that hang on the wall that are cast iron. Lots of that stuff.
They're smaller cast iron pans, like they're in the shape of ears of corn for cornbread, and that kind of thing. I think
I used to have one of those too, and it was always rusting.
I don't pick that stuff up. I do pick up Revereware and those kinds of things. I haven't done that much of it yet.
I picked up that, and you know what? It's sold. Every single pot and pan, except for one, which I don't know what was wrong with it because I just found it in my list.
Especially the ones with the copper bottom.
Right.
That, and I sold some other pans. But is cast iron, is that brand really this high?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Really?
They're generational. They'll last a lifetime if you can take care of them well. They never really go bad.
$500 worth of not going bad?
Yep. Griswold, definitely. You can't find them because people keep them. If they've got them, they keep them. You're not going to find very seldom at a yard sale.
They pass them down. They will them to people.
Well, yeah, with the prices on them for sure. So I don't know. I would say the best place to learn cast iron is probably just doing a Google search, and I'm sure there's somebody, or hey, maybe there's a Facebook group, right?
I say there is.
But honestly, just you going through eBay and looking at the top the sales and going through and seeing what's sold recently, and then go through the top, through the highest, and kind of gives you some. But wow, I did not know that. So let me see let's see here. I did not know it was that much money.
There are at least 3 groups that are cast iron.
Wow.
There you go.
Cast iron community, cast iron cookware, and cast iron cookware ID or identification. So I would start there.
There you go.
Having a hard time.
I would too, because I'll tell you what, these Facebook groups,
Yes.
you really do. Sometimes you gotta wait, for the right person to answer. But there's so many people and so much knowledge,
And Noelle says she has a video on cast iron. So
awesome.
There you go. See,
fantastic.
we got people. We got good people in our group.
Wow. I wonder what makes it. Go ahead, Lizzie.
Oh no, finish that topic and then I'll start.
I was just wondering is it quality, or like the year of causes it to be $200 or, $5,000? I mean, what's the difference? Are there certain numbers or logos or
Not yet.
years they're made, that would make them be
Probably. More... I would think the older it is, the more valuable it is.
I'll go watch Noelle's thing.
And the larger,
she lays into it.
Right. Yeah.
It's just never been one of those things that I've been interested in,
You might now with the prices.
Yeah, I'll check. Watch next week. I'll be like, guys.
What would the shipping be like on that?
The shipping would be.
The shipping would be, heavy. But
calculated
heavy shipping.
Let me see the original listing.
Like the La Creuset. What is it? La Creuset?
La Creuset.
That's like,
La Creuset, yes.
That's
I
big,
love
and
that.
it's cast iron.
Okay.
I have never found a piece.
Mm-hmm.
So shipping for, it seems to be about $40 or $50.
And people will pay.
And people will pay it.
Wow, and I think Sur La Table is also one that's good.
Oh yeah, Sur La Table, yeah.
Yes, I think it's like a companion to La Creuset, like a companion company to it, or equivalent to.
It's like the more affordable, but it's still expensive as hell.
Correct.
How do you spell that? Right. I've never even heard of it.
Sur La Table.
It looks like Sur La Table.
Okay. Correct.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, got it. Never heard of it.
All right, let me see if I can go back.
I used to be a big QVC HSN watcher, and I learned all this kind of stuff and, useless, useful information. But they used to sell those kinds of things, and I was like, oh, and they used to sell for a lot of money, too.
People sell for $700.
Yeah, Robert's looking. He's eyeing the La Creuset stuff. He's like $700.
Oh
yes.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yes. Especially if they're the ones made in France. Mm-hmm.
And if they're like a highly sought after color, something that only like that's
pink
too.
Robert's saying pink is must be highly sought after.
Pink.
If they don't,
there's like a light purple.
Yeah.
Or is that what you called?
Aubergine or something like that. I think a purple.
No, I'm thinking of a ceramic company that has like a light purple. That's. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. No. So Sur La Table then, or you know what I'm saying, and La Creuset. Like I know how to cook or something. I don't even know how to turn the oven on. I have no business looking at pots and pans. But I'll sell them.
Exactly. I was asked, what I sell, and I said mainly shoes at the moment. I don't wear shoes typically every day. I'm a barefoot kind of chick, but I will sell them. And I'm glad to send them to your house and make you a happy person. Make you be happy.
Shoes are easy. Not easy. Once you get a system down with shoes, it's like anything,
Correct.
But, you take pictures the same way, with the same information.
Yes, ma'am. And I will tell you, I do it to avoid having to take pictures of clothes. I will bite the bullet and I will do it soon, I think. But I gather stuff up. So unless I have a really high end dress or shirt, I list it right now. I just wait and pile up, and get a good lot of stuff and then jam through it. I could not go from a bra to socks to a CD to this. No, either. I know it messes with the brain too much. Yeah. Batch photos is the way to go for me.
So let me ask you guys this. There's people that list different. How do you guys list? Do you take your photos first and then list your photos, or do you do your listings first and then put your photos in? So I've just recently found out there are a lot of people that do their listings first. They do their research and they pull their research up and save a draft. I think Noelle does something like this too. But they'll save it and then they go and add the photos later.
That's what the hustle couple does.
Yeah.
No,
no, I do all my
Photos.
photos and then I list from
Sure.
and then I list from my photos. But I do
Yes.
it as I go. You know what I mean? Like I list as I go. I'll create drafts.
Robert.
That's why I wait and get a lot of stuff. And I'll
That's
create,
in between these
you
three
know,
elements.
30 or 40 drafts of men's jeans or whatever I'm shooting, and then save it into a draft. And then I go in and add my pictures as I go. But it's kind of, some would think that's goofy, but I definitely do photos first.
Sorry about that. I do photos first, and then I list. But I probably do things a little bit different than some people because I like to record my information, like when I bought it and how much I bought it for, and get all the details. So I created a what do I call it? An inventory intake purchase sheet, and I just circle off all the stuff that applies to the item, fill in certain details about the item, and then I can just put it with that item when I'm ready to photo and list it. And when I do, then I can just make a draft real fast, or sell similar, and just make sure that I put all the flaws that are with the item and that kind of thing. And it just helps me keep a record of what I purchase and how much I sell it for. And I also created a sheet that's my sold item information and shipping details, like what platform I sold it on and the sold item price, all that information that they give you when you sell it on whatever platform you're selling on. I like to have those details. And this is how I'm like Rebel. I think I'm doing really great when I'm doing things like Rebel because, she's the rock star. Rebel the rock star.
That's
Reseller.
what I'm just trying to get Rebel into doing her her what do you call it, Rebel? Your intake in list perfectly. Because it's all there, or Vendu, whichever one you guys choose. But it's like I said, it's so easy to create a listing and just keep going with your photos there and entering it in, but having a backup is nice too. I used to handwrite everything back in the day.
I did too.
I'm not a spreadsheet person. I am not a spreadsheet person. And I think it's
that's
because
why I think that the list perfectly, that makes it it's so nice if you want to, because it's one spot on your computer that you're listening into, and then you hit
that makes sense.
There's none of flipping around. But yeah, once I did a lot of that in the beginning. Once I got after a certain amount of listings, I was done writing. I started pulling in stuff from the bins. I'm like, no.
Right. I agree with you on that.
Not doing it twice.
Exactly. I agree with you on that. The bigger you get, you adjust your business accordingly. And I'm a woman show, and
and that
really
worked for a long time.
Right. And I think you do what fits you best, what works for you best is what you need to do. That's what I love about reselling. You can tailor make it to fit your life, your situation. It's very flexible. I believe in being flexible.
Well, Lori, speaking of list perfectly, this is what I've decided I'm going to start with as far as getting my listings over. I'm going to start with Mercari because it's not as big as eBay. But that way I can get all of my Mercari stuff into the catalog there, and then I can start doing the delete and sell similars for Mercari. Because technically for eBay, it's faster to do delete and relist straight from the active listings, for eBay.
Right.
But I think for Mercari, there's no way to do it other than end it and then go back to eBay and do sell similar or, cross list. So I think Mercari is one of those websites. It needs to be refreshed like every 30 days in order for consistent sales. So that's my plan. Like I was going to do it today while we were doing the show. I was going to sit here and start doing it. I was going to order it by ABC, alphabetical, and then start transferring it into the catalog. And that way, then I could just start from there.
You mean pushing it over to eBay?
No, pushing it over to List Perfectly from
Pushing it over
Mercari.
from Mercari. I understand. But once you get it into List Perfectly, then what are you just keeping Mercari, or then you're going to push it out from List Perfectly?
I'm going to push it back out to Mercari, but I think I'm going to start pushing it to Poshmark. It's already on eBay.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, I got you. You don't want to mess with List Perfectly with eBay.
I don't know yet. Not yet. I got to start somewhere. Yeah.
Right.
It's just too slow.
Right. Robert's been playing around with it. He transferred like 200 items.
Right.
So
well,
I'm
ready to pull the trigger on which one I'm going back. And I keep leaning backwards to Vendu because it's so user friendly. I mean, it just is. It's basic and but List Perfectly has other. I just don't want to do this again. And I definitely need to have a third. I need to have some place where all of my stuff comes together. And let's face it, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to make a spreadsheet. I'm not going to keep it. I cannot do it.
I agree.
There's just, I can't write it. So I'm going to have to count on one of these guys to, keep their shit together so that I can look at my numbers.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Like, come on, please. So I'm just hoping I'm ready to go back in and put all of my stuff from eBay into it. So we'll see.
Yep.
I will report back on that though. I don't think it's going to be as Robert, how long does it for eBay when you're bringing it in from eBay or anywhere, when you're transferring it into List Perfectly, how many can you do at a time?
I did like 10 at a time or something.
He was being conservative, so he only did like 10 or so at a time. You can do however many you want as long as you're trusting your internet connection.
Oh yeah, then there's that.
Just that long.
Back to the people keeping their crap together.
He said it opens up a tab. Every time you transfer one, it opens up a tab. So that's so if you do 100, it's going to be this massive
100 tabs,
and that's going to start consuming all the RAM on your computer, and it's going to melt.
Oh,
right.
So, dude, me personally, I would set up your screen to like 25 and do 25 at a time. And then make sure you're closing 25 tabs to make sure something didn't get
double listed or
it takes a while.
I want to
and
say,
do you have to delete from your computer?
2 hours to get 200 listings in or something like that. It's been a while, but it took a while.
Okay.
And so it was going to be a huge task to do the 9,000 or almost 10,000.
Yes.
So if you're going to do it, now's the time. But to do the end and sell similar, it would probably take an hour or so or more to do 200 items. And if I'm doing 300 of those a day, then we're talking 2 hours or something. And that actually takes like 15 minutes at eBay to do 300 listings on the end and sell. I mean, it's so fast in eBay.
Because I just do bulk edit.
See, and I don't do that yet. I mean, I don't do resell similar. I just keep my listings up and let them go.
Right.
Yeah.
But as I get down the pike here, that might be something that I will be doing. Just to refresh your listings, and you have so many of them. You want to get them back out in front. So I'm gonna have to think about that too.
And I'm hoping at some point I can stop doing that. It just seems right now, I tried 1 month not to do the end and sell similar, and my sales just plummeted. Wow. So I'm just doing it right now just because I don't think, and I think Nicole mentioned there's a guy I was watching last night. I forget, his name's Robert. Who was that, Noelle, that you just mentioned? I was watching him and he's saying the same thing. Yeah, my boring reselling life or something like that. He's saying the exact same thing, that things are getting hidden. And I'm not sure if he does what I do because he's got like 37,000 listings. I think he does a lot of media. But, he even said in his video last night, it's been 8 months. eBay still hasn't fixed the platform. All the way back to like October November, December, when they were messing with something. It's still not working right. So I just want every month to have fresh listings.
Wowza.
So
I can see it.
I was thinking of maybe, earlier I was talking about the listings that were left over that my husband did, which are, how many, I don't even know how many years old they are. I need to, at some point when I kind of get my store to where I want it to be, then I'll go back and look at what's left of those listings and maybe end those and relist them or something. I don't know. Somebody asked a question about that way back in the chat, and I'm so bad, you guys. I apologize. I forget until we're like an hour in to actually click over to where I can see the comments and actually go back and read them. But I think it was Teresa asked a question way back. Why would we have a store with just 87 items? And my answer to that is I'm not completely sure, but my husband was doing it at the time. But here's what I think. My father-in-law has had an eBay store for years, like probably as long as Rebel has. And he does very well. And he does a lot of multi-quantity listings. And he doesn't have probably more than a couple hundred listings, but they're all multi-quantity. And for him, he just, I don't know, he looked at the numbers and, he decided early on to get a store just for the benefits of that. So I don't know. So whenever he talked my husband into starting an eBay store, we did a few listings and then, decided to. And I was kind of in on it at the beginning. I thought I would be right there helping. And then I sat down to try to do a listing and I thought I'd rather be at the dentist. And so I was like, no. So I was always the procurer of items. And I'm like, here, I bought this. You can resell it, But anyway, I don't know. Other than I think my husband probably thought that this is something we wanted to do for the long haul and that it wasn't in the big picture that the amount we were going to pay. And I think it used to be less money for more items, or I don't know. They've tweaked it some, haven't they, Rebel? Over the years, they've changed the store levels and stuff. So I don't even remember how long ago it was. Probably like 2012 or something when we actually started our store. So, Teresa, I hope that answers your question. I think because we thought in the long term, there would be more benefits to having a store. And then my husband started it and he started listing things and then just realized that he wasn't going to have time to really put to it. And at that time, I wasn't in a headspace to do it. But since COVID, I retired and he was ready to quit. And I was like, let me give this a shot now. I think I can do this.
Right.
And so now I pretty much just do it. The store is still in his name. It's kind of in both of our names, but at some point when he retires, he'll go back to doing and getting all that hardware listed because it's not going to go bad. It's hardware. And we'll be more of a team like Robert and Rebel are now. But for right now, he's, working as long as he can, keep the benefits. And I think what he's hoping is that I will get the store up to where it's paying bills so that then he can retire and not worry about, the loss of income from his retirement. So anyway, hope that helps.
Yeah.
And I have a couple of what I think are going to be bolos. I went to a couple of book sales last week since I talked to y'all last week, but I realized I left one. So I'm going to run out to the garage and grab something. And at some point before we sign off, I want to show you guys my book purchases. Oh, is
Elizabeth,
that the one
wasn't this the Godzilla? And you said I've never heard anybody say called Godzilla cute. Well, Godzilla sold. Godzilla sold.
Yeah, because you were showing it in your haul and you're like, he's so cute. And I'm like, cute? That's the last thing I would think of to call Godzilla.
I paid $3 and he sold for $27.
Nice. Good deal.
Wow.
Now I got to bag him. I mean,
I'll wait till
boxes.
Lori comes back before I go out to the garage. So I don't want to leave y'all hanging.
Rebel, I wanted to ask you a question before the end of the show.
Sure.
I like your inventory system. And I was just curious how in each of your baskets or your categories are you able to distinguish the correct item sales?
Okay.
I'm
All
just
right.
curious. I'm just curious.
Well, like for me, I keep all like animals together. So, well,
Okay.
the dogs and cats are together. So a lot of times I don't have an issue. Now, is it perfect? No, because last week I sent the wrong orange tabby cat to somebody. But if I know ahead of time, I try not to put similar items in the same basket. Like when I'm doing, but for the most part, I'd slow down and make sure I've got I try to look at the tag. When I'm bagging my toys, I try to make sure, especially the plush, that the tag I can see through the clear bag. You know, it's not flipped backwards. So I know this is an Aurora or this is Hug Fun or whatever. And that way I can eyeball it. But I only use laundry baskets. And there's only so many that can fit in there. So I'm not dealing with huge totes except for small stuff. But yeah, I try to keep, and a lot of times I'll have two of the exact same thing and I'll number the bag saying that this is number 2, but I try not to put them in the same place either. Because I have multiples. I have probably 12 baskets that are just dogs and cats, you know, and it just, the bears is probably 30 or 40.
Baskets or bears?
Baskets, probably.
Baskets and baskets of everything.
I was just curious about that because, well, I sell shoes and plush and whatever I can sell, I sell. But I like individual inventory numbers for each item. Now, my shoes all get put into 3 different sections, and I know that those are just my shoe sections. And but they each, in each of the sections, they have their own individualized inventory number. So when I enter that into my listing, I know where to go and look for it. Plus, and this goes along with your photos, I make the last photo of my listing have my inventory number in the photo. And I make it look nice because I can use the mark up tool on your editing of your photos when you're taking your pictures. And I'll type it in using the text feature, and I'll just type it in whatever color font I want, and it makes it look nice and it doesn't detract from the picture. I can put it in the corner or I can put it over it a little bit. But I found that when I need to go find it, I can go right to that section and I pick the right one every time. But I'm kind of anal that way. Anal pretender that way. I'm like, oh no.
I know, like the Hustle Couple does like what you're doing. They have a number system, and we do that with our clothes. But I am you guys' worst nightmare as far as listing. I pick up whatever. So I go from a Barbie doll to a stuffed animal to a pair of shoes.
See what I was just saying.
I'm just all over it. That wouldn't be conducive for me putting all of the, you know, numerically in baskets. Like I do with my clothes. It's just that way. I just decided, you know, once upon a time, it was very manageable as far as all my bears were here, all my dogs and cats, all my dolls, all my character toys, everything. But as I've grown, the bears have just kind of, okay, I've got 3 baskets of bears here and a basket of rabbits. You know, it's just kind of, but.
And I have 47,000 of these.
Yes.
So that I use, and it has been a lifesaver. They hold up, they take up less room, but I put everything in. Oh, look, there's my babies. But I put everything in one box and I use the letter for my inventory. I'm up to this is like an older one when I first started, but I go back and pull them out if they're lower and then just list to the box. That's how I've found to make it easy, you know, but and sometimes like I'll add, you know, a pair of shoes to that box if I'm going into shoes and there's room in that. I mean, it's probably not the most efficient way, but for me it is. And these boxes all the same size is a godsend. Like but again, I did that before, you know, I already grew like a lot. I should have done this back when I had 200 listings. Right. It would have been my life a lot easier because this has just taken a month out of my life. And I've been diligent. I've been on it to just go back and redo it. So, and I'm seeing success. Stuff that hasn't been selling hasn't, you know, it's just, I think it was my shipping. I think there was double listings. There was just a lot of stuff, you know, but inventory, being able to find it is huge. It's huge.
I used to work in shipping and receiving for several different companies. And I was also an inventory person for ages. And I learned how to pull and pack, and I learned how to ship and all that kind of thing. And quality assurance. I was a quality assurance clerk for a while, and I learned how to inventory everything. So it's kind of bringing back old skills that I had developed from my 20s. That was a long time ago.
Well, that's better than trial and error and going back. I wish I would have had someone teach me an inventory system. I've been doing 3 years. I think I've had 17 inventory systems. I'm not kidding you. Not kidding.
Well,
I could make a book.
I was going to say that what got me started with the reselling was, you know, I lost my dad and we had to sell off things that just needed to go. But then I got hurt back in 2018 and also the following summer, 2019, really bad. And I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything for a really long time, for like 6 months at the most. I couldn't drive. I couldn't go anywhere. All I could do was lie in the bed, and that's all I could do. And rehab was hard, but you know, you do what you got to do. And I started watching reseller videos, and what hooked me on it was this one lady's inventory system. I was like, oh my gosh, that's heaven. That looks like heaven. It's all organized and it's beautiful. And it works. I don't care what it looks like, as long as it works and makes your life easier. That's what I think you need to do. But I was just so enamored with what she did. I was like, okay, I'm going to keep watching her. And then I went down a rabbit hole of watching every reseller, from retail arbitrage to, you know, thrifting to garage sales and yard sales and so forth and so forth. And let me tell you, when I go down a rabbit hole to find out information, I'm digging all the way to China, if you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And it's probably way too much. And it's like, okay, you've got to stop just watching it. You got to start doing it. And that's one of my big tips is, okay, you can learn all this stuff, but until you put your hands to it and get in there and get dirty and making it happen for yourself, you won't really know how it works. And you just have to, I had to get past I want to do it perfect. No, just don't worry about doing it perfectly. Just try.
Katrina, you were just saying just do it. That's so funny because this morning I was reading Emily, our devotional, my daughter Emily, who's 21, special needs. Our verse was, be doers of the word, not just hearers.
Amen.
You know, in other words, just do it.
Yes, ma'am. Just do it.
I'm going to turn my camera off for a second and run out to the garage and get a couple things I'm going to show you guys. I'll be right back.
I kind of had a head start on all of you guys as far as inventory, because my first 13 years of adulthood was in the military as an inventory manager. So I kind of had a
there you go.
Experience.
I started working in warehouses when I was 19 or 20. I had to support myself through college and things like that. And I got a job in a warehouse and I worked and went to school. I mean, I'm just a regular person. Life's, it is what you make it. You have to do the work to make it happen. And
it's a very strong skill to have when you're a real reseller.
amen to that. I agree.
Yeah.
Self-motivation, I think, is a big key in reselling. If you're not self-motivated,
You're not going to last.
correct. I agree with that.
That's why I get a chuckle out of like Goodwill and everybody. Oh, we're gonna do the reselling game. No, you're not.
Whatever.
No, you're not. no, the hell you're not. Unless you guys get resellers to come in and work for you, you're not gonna find anybody to do this job. Sorry. It's a lot of work. I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy what I do. It's why I do it. But it's a lot of work. And to get the prices that you get and the research and all the cleaning and getting, what I mean? Like everything that goes into reselling is tough.
Well, I approach it like this. I used to be a special ed paraprofessional. And I handled all the kids that the teachers didn't want to handle, that had every kind of need in the world that was more than challenging. But I didn't look at it as, oh, this is too hard for me. It was like, no, you can do this just one little bit at a time and treat people the way you want to be treated. And I've just never shied away from hard work. I just don't look at it like that. Like, oh, it's a lot of work. Life is a lot of work.
Well, yeah, but it is a lot of work for somebody to take it on willy-nilly and be like, I'm just going to do this. I can make money.
Yeah. And I think that was a misconception that a lot of people might have had in the beginning. But I'm just like, I just like hard work. I guess I'm a workaholic. I don't know. Maybe. But I like work. Yeah. I get enjoyment out of working and doing things and creating things and putting things together. And I like making life better for other people too. But I get fulfillment out of the doing of it. And so I'm like, it keeps me out of trouble. I'll tell you that much. I could get into trouble if I didn't have something to occupy my time.
Yeah.
So, Rebel, what do you think of this? I haven't seen many, like they're not high sells, maybe 40.
Ooh.
But it's an old warming tray.
A warming, how pretty.
Was it like 70s, 80s, something like that?
I would think 70s, yeah.
That's unusual.
It's pretty good condition. I picked it up out the trash, of course. But I think I'm gonna. Is there anything you suggest? Maybe just. I don't know how they work. Should I just wait and see if it gets warm or starts a fire?
Is it electric?
It is and it's got the old plug. You can tell.
It's got the old plug. Oh,
I would plug it in.
Plug it in and test it.
I'd plug it in and at least see if it starts getting warm. That way,
I wanted to see if the glass was like marked or dirty. It's just dirty before I put any more work into it. So it just needs to be wiped. And
I've never seen anything like that. That's interesting.
Oh, this is hilarious.
I've had one like once. They're a lot of work, and
they are. See, the plug looks kind of wonky.
Mm-hmm.
That's a new one on me.
It's in there. It's not like terrible, but
wow, I've never seen anything like that before.
All right, well, I will let you know because I think I'm going to give it a list. I'm just going to put it on at auction. Probably go for $199, but
don't do $199.
No, I'm just kidding.
$199. There you go.
It kills me when I'm doing research and I see all these listings that ended for 99 cents or $1.99. It's like, don't.
So
I don't do those.
I do them. If I have something I don't know, like I use scheduled, but I started one today because it's a Madame Alexander Eloise doll. that I couldn't find
uh-huh.
anything like her. And some of them sell, the larger ones can sell up to like $100.
I'm amazed at what y'all find so many things that are such high dollar. It's amazing to me what y'all come up with. It's really cool. Maybe I just overlook it. I don't know.
No, I'm out in people's front yards in the garbage. There's probably a sign of me somewhere. Have you seen this chupacabra? Get her out of here.
That's great.
1 o'clock, Miles. All right. Let me make sure.
So I listed my doll furniture from last week.
Did
and
you?
I did, and I already got a couple bids on it. So that, and then I did list a couple hauls on that haul sale site. The auctions haven't ended yet, but it was fairly simple. I think I'm gonna wait and see the 7 days and see if they sell, and then possibly do something on that. It was an easy platform to get pictures up on, and to get your hauls right. And it's a spot for resellers to buy and sell.
That's neat.
So
I've never heard of it.
Check out, peeps.
What's the site?
It is haul sale.
Haul sale. Okay, I think you've mentioned that before, haven't you?
Sale. Yeah, so I did a couple listings. Liz, you missed that. I did a couple listings, lots, like a men's lot and a damaged. I had all these Coach purses that I have no time to put into them, and they're highly sought after purses. Like they're the waterfall color and they're vintage, Y2K-esque. But so I put those in a lot and put them up, and it's each a 7-day auction. So we'll see what happens there.
Hey, Rebel, you can take that comment down. We're way past cast iron.
Huh? Oh, do I say, well, dang. Now I got to go find it.
Or you can just click on a new one.
Yeah, click on a new one.
Here. Oh, yeah, I was going to click on this one, right? Here, Rhonda. Can be a very lonely business. Yep.
That is why I look forward to our Wednesdays. No matter what, I'd have my arm sawed off, and I'd be like, "I'm here, guys." Yes, this is a lonely business, especially when you're out in Rebel's out in the country. I'm down in the Coral Rock. Lizzie's up in population. Where do you live at?
A little town called
Texas.
Davenport.
No, not you. I know where you live.
Oh.
Commerce.
Katrina.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was talking to me. Sorry.
No, Lizzie's close to me.
I live in
middle of Texas.
No, I'm in the northeast portion of Texas. Okay, I'm 65 miles northeast of Dallas, 45 minutes, whatever, south of Paris. It's the easiest way to locate me. We're considered in the DFW area, but we're on the edge, like going into East Texas. Yeah, we're close to the Oklahoma border.
You're not that far from where I grew up. I grew up near Durant, Oklahoma.
Yes, that's not far. Well, you have to consider Texas.
As the crow flies.
Right. Everything is a drive, pretty much, unless you're living in a metropolitan area. Everything's a drive. And so 20 minutes to go to the grocery store is no big deal for most people. Our town is a college town. And this is another thing I had in common with Rebel. I find it so ironic that we have parallels. So interesting. She went to East Tennessee State University. I went to East Texas State University in our hometown where I am. And our colors were blue and gold also. So I had to throw that in there. I was like, it's so weird how things go that way. And it's now part of the A&M system. But we're a little college town that nobody knows about until they
go to school,
run across it.
Right. So what did you find, Elizabeth?
All right. Last week I went to 3 library book sales. I went to one on Monday, which I already talked about last week, where I bought. They were $5 a box, and I got 3 boxes. So I spent $15, and I've been sorting everything. So I want to show you a few little gems that I got. But then on Thursday of last week, I went to another library book sale where it was $3 a bag, not just like a Publix bag, but like an actual shopping bag, like a reusable shopping bag. And I had one oversized one, so I spent $16. I got 5 bags full, and I was hoping to maybe just get out of there with 4 bags, but I had to, start a 5th bag, and I had about a third of it left, and I was done. And I thought, I don't want to just, have a bunch of empty space in a bag when I can just, basically it's free at this point. So I did another sweep, and I went over to the religion section because I had gotten a lot of children's books, and I found these children's books in the religion section. And they caught my eye, and for most of the sale, and I'm yelling. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm talking so loud. For most of the sale,
because you're excited.
I know.
You can tell
My
everyone's
daughter's
going. Woo! Calm down, Lizzie.
Anyway, so for most of the sale, my phone had been in the car charging. So I told the ladies, I said, I'm going to go get my phone. This is all the stuff I'm buying. I had it over here with Emily. It was like surrounding the chair she was sitting in. And I kept feeding her with books to look at, big, thick books so she could turn the pages. So I went over, and these caught my eye, and I went and looked them up. They are, now you can read Bible stories. They're from 1985 or 6. 1985 by Grolier. And sets of this size are going for like $50, like $35 to $50.
Wow.
And I basically, got them free in my $3 bag of books. And they're in excellent shape. So I'm actually reading them with Emily one at a time. I sort of put them in chronological order of the Bible. And so now we're up to Moses for tomorrow. So we're reading one a day, so that by the end of the month, we'll have them read, and then I'll list them. But I was excited. The sell-through rate is not as good as some of the things I bought, but I looked them up. Like right now, there's 194 listings, but some of those are individual books. And there's some sales for like $10 a book, $9.99 for just the books. But there's 23 sold results and 194 listed. So that's not horrible.
There's a set of 28 that just sold for $86.
Yeah, and I have 21. So I don't know. I was telling the ladies at the store, at the book sale, I was like, look what I found, y'all, and they're like, they said, well, is it a complete set? And I said, I don't know. I said, but they're selling, because I told them, they knew what I was doing. I go to this book sale all the time. And I said that, there's lots of all sizes that are selling well. And, but I knew this wasn't all of them, but I'm excited, and I thought that was a good deal.
Awesome.
So then a few other things I was just going to talk about, and some of these are better than others, but these are just a few things I picked up. I'm going to try. I have collected a few Chick-fil-A books, and I'm pretty sure that you could sell those in lots. But these caught my eye because these are Jim Henson, and these are Jim Henson pajamas. And I found 2 of these little board books, and I guess there's 5 of them. And they're not selling for a lot, but anything Jim Henson, I'm going to grab. But these do sell really well. Magic Treehouse books, they sell well in large lots. And I have quite a few more of these. And then I noticed several Disney, and I haven't looked all these up yet, but like Disney novelizations. I got all the Phineas and Ferb stuff that I could find because I love Phineas.
Oh, there you go.
So I haven't even looked those up yet. But I found some other different ones like Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
There you go.
Somebody who grew up with these will want these for their kids, Mary Kate and Ashley.
Definitely. Mary Kate, see that? There you go.
Yeah.
That's so
and
funny.
Just a little fun fact about Mary Kate and Ashley. When I was working at Disney, when they were pretty young, I got to do a photo shoot with them as a character. So if you look up and you can Google it. It's on Pinterest. I just found it. Mary Kate and Ashley with Buzz Lightyear and Woody. That's me in the picture.
Aw.
And I'm the shorter one of the two, not Mary Kate. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to spell it out any more than that. But between Buzz and Woody, you know who's the shorter. And I also got some Junie B. Jones. So all of these things, you know, I have a box of kids' books, and when I get enough of, you know, one thing, you know, to do a small or large lot, then I'm putting those together. Magic School Bus is another one that's good. And I know from when my daughter was little, Katie, anything animal, like she would read these Animal Arc books, and there's also Magic Kitten, Magic Puppy, some of those like that. Also found several of these. These are a little bit bigger. Ridgeview Writing Club. So all of these I got in these fill-a-bag,
Nice.
lots, you know, so it's totally worth it. You know, that's the time to grab all of these things that you can lot up. And so if y'all don't know, anybody out there, if you want to get into books and you don't know how to find library sales, write this down: www.booksalefinder.com. That's the website that I use, and all other resellers who sell books look on booksalefinder.com. And you can go to your state, and then by state, it lists all the library book sales that are advertised, you know, for this month, future months, or whatever. So it gives you all the details, and that's how I find out about library book sales. I picked up a Nancy Drew. These don't go for a lot, especially these newer ones, but if you can lot them up, and you never know, some people who are collecting them are looking for specific numbers. So I'll probably will list this by itself just because I don't have a bunch of those. The other thing I found, I think at the very first sale, and I've been going through and sorting out everything. That's why at the time we had this last week, I hadn't even unpacked the boxes and bags. And so now I have, and so I can show you some stuff. But at the first sale, I found a bunch of magazines, and a few of the ones I got, Ranger Rick sells pretty good. Boys Life. There's a few of these. If you look up,
but Ranger Rick, I think, was one of the ones that I saw in school. Like we always had, you know, what were those magazine subscription things that you would win? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, crumb. I got to think about it.
I'm not sure.
Tip of my tongue.
These
Go
were
ahead,
all
I'll think.
like ones that had been at the library, like for kids to look at the library.
Right, but there was like a subscription when I was younger, and Ranger Rick was one of the ones you could pick. I remember.
Like that. So I got some. I just grabbed all the magazines that they had. I got some Boys Life, but the one that I'm most excited about. Before I get to the big one, which I think is probably a bolo. Just to tell you, Boys Life, there was a bunch listed, but also if you just type in Boys Life magazine, you also get Beach Boys and you get Life magazine and all that stuff in your search. So I don't know how to narrow it down.
Take those words out, Lori, Elizabeth.
I didn't do it.
You see Beach Boys, when you do your search, do a minus beach. Minus whatever words you don't want in your search, and it starts taking them out so that you get down to more. Wow. I just learned this from somebody over there.
Listening to you with good tips. I love that.
When I'm trying to sell something that's Kelly Toy, if I try to sell something that's Kelly Toy, guess what shows up the most? Squishmallows. So I have to do minus Squishmallow and minus Squishmallows. And that's how you get your search narrowed down.
That's how you narrow it down.
Okay.
Good tip. Look at you with the tips today, Rebel. That was a good one.
This actually has a good sell-through. There are 52 lots listed and 43 sold.
Weekly readers.
So is it Weekly Reader? Okay, I thought it might be. I said that. So this is a really good. This is a bolo, actually. But the one I think that's even better than that. Well, actually, no, it's about the same as far as. Anyway, this one, Zoo Books.
Oh,
this
yes, I remember
those bolos. This has 137 listings and 104 souls for lots.
There you go.
Wowza.
That's great.
There you have it.
And I
see
got a
them
bunch
quite
of
often.
these. And we have some, my daughter has some that, we're pretty much done with. So I'm going to pull out the ones she has and lot them up and try to sell those. So that was my children's book. I also picked up a few of these practical homeschooling. These will probably sell too. I saw some like individual ones of these that had sold. So I don't know. Anyway, it was fun. And so then the two sales, Monday and Thursday, were Phila something. And then Friday, I went to one farther away. I went to Ocala, and those were individually priced. And I just kind of piddled around and didn't get there till the sale was almost done. I had like 20 minutes to shop, but I picked up a lot of 3 classic children's treasury things that looked kind of cool. I looked those up, and those are selling. So I already got those listed. And then some of the vintage paperbacks, John D. McDonald, Travis McGee vintage paperbacks. So I'll get those listed hopefully this week. But those were individually priced. Like I had to pay $0.25 a piece. Or I think children's books were $0.25 a piece. Hardcovers were 50 cents and paperbacks were $0.25. And I think I only got children's books and paperbacks. So I only spent like less than $4 and got one bag full of books there. And then I was really tempted. There was another library book sale in Tampa on Saturday, and I almost went to that one, but I thought I have spent enough gas and I need to take Saturday and start sorting out the stuff that I've already bought. So I made myself not go. I think the Tampa one was kind of small. It wasn't the main library at Tampa. It was a smaller library. Anyway, I had a fun week of book shopping last week. So, and I have proud to say that I have listed several of the books already that I bought, and I have them almost sorted too. So
Good
job. They're not just sitting around in a death pile. They're getting sorted. They're getting
there you go. Right.
Because I have all
very,
my
very good
card tables all set up. I actually have room to work now, so I'm excited about that.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that such a great feeling when there's you have your space?
Yes.
So nice.
Because with books, you have to be able to sort. You've got to be able to make section. Lining up books, you have to sort them.
I've been sitting here talking for like 10 minutes. I was muted.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to print my label, so I try to mute it and then print my label because my machine and my mic is like, I don't want to blast everybody's ears, but I was going to say something, but now I've forgotten.
Well, I have some good news to report. I had asked a question a couple of weeks ago about my shoe dilemma. I bought 2 different size shoes at the same pattern, and they were left shoes. There weren't any right shoes. I did it. Yes. Well, I bought them in June, everybody. And I didn't go back until last week to the thrift store to try and see how to fix the situation. It was a shoe miracle, everybody. It was a shoe miracle. They were there, but they had to go into the back room and dig them out, and they found them for me.
Awesome.
And so I was like, hey, God smiled on me that day. I was so excited. I said, and I told my mom that I was going to be on your show, and I was like, oh my gosh. She's like, you get to tell your friends that you have a shoe miracle. So I had my shoe miracle for my reselling.
They probably set them aside thinking, what are we going to do with 2 right shoes?
Well, no, they actually didn't. They didn't even notice. I ended up telling them that they had made this little faux pas, this little goof up. And they're like, we did? Really? And so they went and dug around in their back room and they found them. And I was like, hallelujah. I had my hallelujah, thank you, Jesus moment right there in the middle of the store. I was like,
did they give you the other? Did they give them to you for free? So you technically got buy one get one.
no, I wish that were the case,
Aw.
but but I look at it this way. Now I can double my money.
There you
From,
go.
I'm just gonna be. And one of them was new with tags, never worn. So that's even better. So I'm like,
Yep.
oh, this is gonna work out great. But
That's awesome.
I get good advice from everybody, and y'all were so kind and helpful. Everybody in the chat, you were all so nice and like, oh my gosh. And I was like, I just could not, even if I only had 2 left shoes that were 2 different sizes, I'm selling them because there's one-legged people in the world that need a shoe. And I'm going to be the one you're going to buy it from. And I don't care. I'm going to deliver the goods, people. I'm going to deliver the goods. So, but I had to report my shoe dilemma became a shoe miracle. So
That's fantastic.
Very nice. Very nice.
So
how
we
was
can
sales
always
this
turn
week
it
for you
around.
guys? How were
Say
sales this week?
I
My
sold
store
0
was on
on Saturday,
sale.
Sunday.
Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Oh, I was just telling her I sold 0 things on Saturday and Sunday, every other day of the week, but nothing on Saturday and Sunday. It was weird.
I just always see when I put my store on holiday or vacation.
That's right. You were out. You were gone. That's right.
But yesterday was my biggest day for the entire month. I don't know why. Just
out
of the
keep
blue.
it beat.
Just be grateful.
Thank
Just
you.
be grateful.
Keep it going.
Amen. I sell more on the weekends than I sell through the week.
I usually do too.
I make more sales like starting Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even on Sunday. And I think I only sold 3 things in the past week. 2, 3? Yeah, something like that.
Going on.
I really think eBay's messing with the site right now. And it's
They're doing
Katrina, how many
something.
listings
They
do
are
you
doing
have?
something.
How
Do you
many
have a
listings?
store?
No, ma'am, I don't have an eBay store. I just have a base. I don't even know what you call it. Is it just a personal account for buying and selling? But it's not as I don't have a store subscription. I sell on eBay, Mercari, and Poshmark. And I remember Rebel saying that she starts her listings on eBay first.
Yes.
I don't do that. I start my listings out on Poshmark, then populate them over to Mercari, and eBay's my last one that I populate to.
Now, do you do lists perfectly or do you do them manually?
I do it manually because I'm still a really small store and I'm a real cheap person when it comes to I'm thrifty, I'm frugal, and I can just copy and paste my stuff for the moment. And when I get bigger, I'll probably incorporate lists perfectly into what I do, but not until I get to a certain level. And Elizabeth, you asked how many listings I have. I think my listings are around the 120, 125 mark, but I'm selling fairly consistently for being a really small seller. And my amount of money that I take in is probably pretty minuscule to everybody else, but I do it on, like I said, I'm a tortoise. I just do it at a slow pace, but I get it done and I work off my profit piles. They're not death piles, they're profit piles.
Exactly.
I have profit piles all around me, and I'm not going out and buying a lot because when I was laid up for 2 years ago for about 6 months, when I could get out and do a little bit, I just went to the thrift store and bought a few things here and there, and then I had a lot left over from my furniture flip days and decor days and that kind of thing. So I have things I can draw from, and I don't have to go out and get a lot of inventory all the time.
All right, Beth has a question. Candles. Do you ship them during the summer? I don't. I pull mine down and do not ship during this time of year. I'll relist them like in October or if I get any. But I did have one time I lost. I forgot and didn't return. Take down, and it did sell, and it made it to Las Vegas fine.
Wow.
So, I don't know, Beth. I personally think I wouldn't chance, especially this summer seems to be even hotter than normal.
It is hotter than normal.
So,
in Texas, we've been in a drought. Mm-hmm.
And then Rhonda got junk in our trunk. I'm trying to convince Robert, since we just finished the 127 and our car isn't even unloaded, and I still have Kilm stuff that I picked up, the 1200 plush, and I still have my bags from St. Louis that we don't need to source this weekend. So Rhonda's doing a ban on sourcing, and I'm trying to join her at least for a weekend. At least
Rhonda asked me a question. Can I answer it? She says, Elizabeth, are you able to resell Disney items even as a former employee? So my husband is a current employee and the store is in his name. So we have to be really careful about that. But the way he understands it, because he has had coworkers that have been fired because they bought stuff at a discount and resold it. So we are not allowed to resell things that we have bought at a discount because we have a 35% discount on items. But if we think if we've been given stuff free, it's ours to resell. And what was the other thing? I had another thought. The other thing too is like if I've been given stuff and I'm not, well, I don't know. There are rules. There are rules, but we haven't done anything that is questionable. There, I'm not at the point where I'm like hurting for things to list. But like I have some old things that I thought would probably sell, and he's like, "No, I don't think you should sell that because that's more like intellectual property." Like I have some old scripts and things from my earliest days that are pretty cool, and I think would be kind of neat. And they're for attractions that don't exist anymore. And I'm like, well, I was thinking that would be pretty cool. I could even make copies and sell it. He's like, no, because that's intellectual property. And so for now, while he's still working, I'm not gonna try that. But once he retires and our pensions are all in the bank, then I might venture out into some of that territory. But,
and then it'll be worth more anyways then, right, Liz?
That's true.
The longer you wait, this stuff doesn't, it appreciates most of the stuff I have.
But Disney is such a there's so many things that are saturated that you think, oh, this will be great, but then there's a million of them already out there. So it just depends on what it is. Anyway,
made me think of y'all. I love the NC Picker. He's hilarious, but he just recently went to Disneyland in Florida, and he said he walked through the gift shop.
Disneyland's not in Florida.
Okay. Disney World in Florida, and he's walking through the gift area, and he's looking at all these prices, and he's going, "I can get that for $1 at a yard sale. I can get that at $1 at a yard sale."
You're a reseller when that's say.
I do it all the time. I'm terrible. I'll be like, nope, I can buy that.
Yep.
Terrible.
I don't even go. We have a Hobby Lobby I've never been in. We have a Marshall's. I've gone in once or twice because I needed something specific that I didn't find. I just can't see. I'm too frugal to go buy stuff at full retail price. My $1 Columbia shirt here,
It is so difficult.
It always amazes me.
And my free tennis shoes.
It always amazes me that we can resell online for the amount of prices we can get. It's because not everybody wants to trudge around to everybody's, yard sale and thrift stores.
Well, and
they want somebody else to do the work.
They don't have a lot of spaces. Like they don't have these places either, I know I have to buy online. Otherwise, I have to drive 4 hours to go to a mall.
Yeah. And I see all the comments in my Facebook group of people that are like, our yard sales are nothing like yours. Because we have amazing yard sales here. Amazing.
Nothing here. And if there is a yard sale, they're from like 7 in the morning till 11. That's it.
Oh
8
my.
to 11. Because it's so hot. Like our flea market shuts down in the summer, you know. I don't know if it's like that up there by you, Elizabeth. Like, do they shut their flea market down in the summer too?
I don't hardly ever go to any flea markets, but
The dirt
sales,
mall.
yeah, they'll be done by 11 or noon. Yeah, which is, that's usually, I'm like racing to get to the post office by noon, and then while I'm out,
And
I
then
could
I'm
actually
ready,
go
right?
to
Me too. Yeah, and they're closed.
somebody somewhere. Rebel, was it you guys that went to a yard sale, or somebody posted something somewhere that there was a kind of a trend in their town that people were having yard sales in the evening, like after work. And I think that's fantastic. I would love for that to be a trend, to have, afternoon, evening yard sales when it's cooler. That'd be great.
Yeah, we have some estate sales that do like 3 to 7 in the evenings the first day, but a lot, like my town is little and a lot of yard sales are all day, but you have other towns around me, and you're trying to race from yard sale to yard sale. Well, by noon they start shutting down. Where here I can go all day. The problem is in our town there just isn't as many as some of the larger towns around us.
I think my area is similar to Rebels in that way. We're a town of about 8,000 people, and we're like 15 minutes from the next biggest town in our county seat. And like I said, we're about 65 miles northeast of Dallas. I don't like going to Dallas. I don't like it at all. I used to live in Fort Worth, which is right next to Dallas. That was okay. Dallas is a whole different beast, baby. It is like,
crazy.
oh no. and I admire the hustle couple, that they do what they do. But I just stick to my small area and work the smaller communities, which a lot of people who live in big cities don't venture out of the big city because they get everything, right there. I go to all these small little towns, and they usually have older homes and older people live there, and they have a lot more vintage things. And in college town, you've got the people coming and working at the university. So you've got families moving in and out every summer, and so they have all the kids stuff, they have all the teenage stuff, they have all the hippie preppy, whatever the thing is now. So yard sales are pretty prevalent around here, and they're pretty easy to come by. But that, like I said, reselling, you adapt it to where you live and what your environment is. And I think that's pretty cool. But anybody of any population can be a reseller. You can find things no matter where you are.
Right. Katrina, do you like to read? Do you like books? Do you read?
Yes. I used to be a more avid reader than I have been in the last several years, but all those books you were talking about, I was a Hardy Boys person.
Oh, yeah?
I read every Hardy Boys book there was in the library. I was not into Nancy Drew at all. I was a Hardy Boys person.
I like to watch the Hardy Boys because I was a big Sean Cassidy fan. But
amen, amen, always, absolutely.
Well, the reason I asked about books is I don't know if you go to Tyler much, but there's an awesome bookstore there called Pea Picker Books in Tyler.
Oh, I haven't been.
I love it. It's huge, and they have a great selection of paperbacks. Not to resell, but I always like to tell people, yeah. So if you ever find yourself in Tyler, check out.
Since you like books, my older sister lives in Denton County, and
I've been to that store in Denton too.
Yes, the one on the square. Yeah, it's a huge used
it's like
book
levels. It's awesome.
Yes.
I have a book friend that's from Denton, and she was telling me about it too. But I was like, oh, I've already been there because we stopped in Denton. My brother's wife passed away last September, and so my girls and I flew out we flew into DFW and then rented a car, drove up to Southeast Oklahoma, and then on our way back, Katie wanted to stop at a Buc-ee's. Well, my nephews said there's a Buc-ee's in Denton. So we went to Buc-ee's, and I said, well, I have to see if there's any bookstores. So I looked, I looked it up. And also, fun fact, the very first movie I was ever in was in that square in Denton. I was in a TV movie called Little Girl Lost. I was just an extra. And I got to drive my car in it. I had a 1976 Pontiac Ventura, and it was a period piece that was set. So my car was old enough to be in it. So I got to drive my car around the square.
Oh, cool.
And I was in a walking scene in front of the courturt. So we were driving through there, and Katie, she was rolling her eyes. She's like, yes, Mom, I know. You're in a movie. You're here.
So cool.
We found the bookstore, and it was right there. But she was more excited because we found a vegan restaurant that was right in that area, too, that was by the college there. So we all found something that we wanted to see and do while we were there in Denton.
That's a great
awesome
story, Elizabeth.
Yes.
That's good.
I knew I was among superstars. I knew it.
Lizzie's the superstar of us. She
Today,
is
yes.
she's
Wow.
the one.
I think
She's
you're
the
all
one.
superstars. I'm just in awe that I even get to be in your company. This is amazing. Y'all make
okay.
everything
It's
so
good having
nice.
you, Katrina. Thank you.
Y'all
We're
are
just
lovely,
us.
lovely people.
Just us.
Oh, but I
Stop.
like that. Okay. I don't know. Y'all are great. Y'all are great. But I'm just so grateful. Y'all have been so kind and lovely. And I'm a newbie. I wouldn't even know how to do any of this, and I probably didn't do it right to begin with. But I was like, okay, do the thing that scares you.
Exactly.
Do the thing that scares you. And being in front of a lot of people scares me.
The night
Yeah.
before the bash, the trash to cash bash, I didn't sleep. I got insomnia because I was so excited.
Did you get
How was it? The whole thing. Well, how was the how was it?
It was
the barbecue
good.
stuff? You didn't tell us about that.
I just got very shy.
Yes.
I get very shy, and then we were with our friends Scott and Christina, and they're the trading post pickers. And Scott, bless his heart in a good way, went around and was talking to everybody, and then he would drag them over to talk to me.
Oh, yes. Yes.
But Dave was amazing because that's the NC picker. Everybody abandoned me at some point, and I was sitting at a table, and he walks over and he's like, you doing okay? You having fun? That kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, I'm just a little overwhelmed. He goes, yeah, me too, but I hide it well, or something like that. But it was nice. It was a lot of fun, but there were a lot of people there I had heard of and a lot that I hadn't. So we were all trying to, friend each other, not friend, but, subscribe to everybody's channels as I learned them, and hopefully support them and try to get them into my flow over here of videos I watch. But it was a lot of fun.
I don't see how y'all do it. I mean, I really don't. This would be nerve-wracking to me to I have to video myself for everybody to see all the time. I'm a YouTube super fan. I am totally into that. I don't know if I could do what y'all do. Y'all are really cool.
I've grown a lot, and it's easy in front of a camera. And I've got Robert in my videos to delete all of my mess ups, all of my he was frustrated with me yesterday because I said that video I released last night, that's something out of my norm, and I had a whole lot of in there. He said I should have saved them all and made a compilation of you just going
for real.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I could.
That's awesome.
How many miles of the 127 miles did you go? Like, how many miles did you cover of the sale?
Robert,
stop biting me.
How many?
15 north.
Maybe 15 north, and how many?
10
or 15 south of Crossville.
Oh.
We didn't get hardly anywhere at all.
The deals were off the road.
Well, the deals, you had to go off. There were flea marketers everywhere.
I
In
bet.
tent cities and huge things. I'm glad I stopped at one of them because that's where I bought all the little people. But after that, we just would drive till we saw a sign that was off a road. And almost every single one of them that said 2 miles down the road, I ended up finding major treasures and lots of stuff. And
The quarter sale.
yeah, we went to one place, everything was a quarter. Everything.
Wow.
I got like 8 vintage Hawaiian shirts and just tons of stuff.
Yeah,
Tons.
because
That
a
is
lot
so
of people
awesome.
wouldn't be willing to go off road. They're just going to go to what's easy. So you did a little more work and got the great deals.
Yeah.
That's good
Right.
advice.
Elizabeth,
We had-
I think next year, Lizzie, you and I are going to have to plan to meet up with Rebel.
We
Maybe
should.
I can
Yeah.
drive up by you. If I drive up by you and take a
We
break,
could carpool.
and then we take a trip, we can carpool up there. I know, because Florida's a long state. It's like Texas.
Yeah.
It's like massive, you know.
Hey,
I kept saying it was,
3 hours
and I am
away.
all the way at mile 0. Well, I'm at mile 30, but I'm
Almost.
way far away.
You are.
so
I
you're
would
closer to
know.
Cuba than you are anywhere
Yeah.
else.
90
In
miles.
the
Yes,
Clarksville,
I'm 90 miles.
Wow.
90 miles to Cuba. Yes.
Wow.
But how far was it for you? Rebel? It was in your town, right? Basically, wasn't it?
It was like 2 hours and 15 minutes
Okay.
away.
Wow.
Next time, I think I want to start way down in Alabama. So we can meet in
Ah.
Alabama
Just go up.
and then we'll
Yeah,
all go
And
up.
go up.
that would be great. Yeah.
All right,
I
we're
think
gonna
that would
have
be
to put
perfect.
this on
Put
the
it on the
tentative
calendar, lady. Put it on
I'm
the calendar.
serious. I like stuff to look forward to, you know.
I have been
Amen
wanting to
to
go to
that.
that sale.
And as it gets,
For
me
years.
too. And as it gets closer, I'll be able, you know, of course, we'll be able to know. But it's
Because it's
going
always
on
the
there.
first weekend of August, right? Isn't it always first weekend of August?
I think so, but they have their own website.
That's my birthday too.
Our Facebook page.
Oh, nice. So
So,
that'd be a good
yeah.
birthday gift for
They
you.
do, don't they? They do
Yeah,
have
They have a
a.
Facebook page. And then Kevin Commonwealth Picker has a new, like, what is
Garage
it?
Sale
Resale
Nation.
Garage Sale Nation.
Garage Sale
So
Nation.
all of them are on that. But girls will have to get us an Airbnb like so far up. And then we can
Or
all
no,
chill
no.
out all
We'll
night.
just drive there and
what
meet
to do.
to it.
I know what to do. I have a motorhome that sleeps 6. It
Yes,
needs to be,
now you're
it
talking.
needs some work. It
Look at
needs
that.
some
Check
work.
on me.
It needs some cleaning because we haven't used it in a long time. But if I can get that thing going, I'll just trundle on up and pick y'all up. And we'll just
I'm
go in the
in.
motorhome. We'll
I'm
need to pull
in.
your trailer, Rebel. We'll need to come to your house and get your trailer and pull it so that we have a place to shop.
For
And then
all
just
of our
put a big ass
stuff.
sign on the back that says, "We are here."
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe
I love it.
Rhonda's down there in Mississippi. Rhonda could join us.
There you
Let's
go.
do it.
Fun.
Caravan,
All right,
yeah.
2023 is our 127 year.
Okay.
There we go.
There you go. Boy, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah.
She's going next year.
Yeah, Rhonda said she's going next year. So
Oh yeah, she'll
There
be
we
off.
go.
She'll be off restriction by then, won't she?
oh yeah, she'll have to be out of her band by then.
Well, house arrest.
Oh, yeah.
Have to put an ankle
Wow.
monitor on her. She don't wander too far away from us.
Yeah. All right, ladies, it's lunchtime.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
hungry.
ma'am.
Yep.
I'm
yep,
getting
it
bitten
was
by this little
fun.
kitty here.
Always
She's
fun.
hungry too.
Always. Always.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Great to meet you too. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
Katrina.
Bye-bye.